Hello everyone, my name is Lyubov Power-Tubitina and I will present you the project which is called Lectures Without Borders. We are happy to present at the Open Education Conference, especially because our values and everything what we are doing is related and oriented to build a sustainable network for providing resources for open education. First, I will present you what our project is and how are we structured. Lectures Without Borders was born in 2017, where scientists went to Nepal essentially for traveling, and there they were invited to make a network course in the school, which was a regional school there. Then afterwards, it evolved into idea that we would be happy to give the opportunity to every scientist who would be traveling from one country to another to come to the classroom, which would be hosting it, and make a lecture and share knowledge, to answer questions and to interact with students. Essentially, Lectures Without Borders in 2008 and 9 grew up into a network of scientists who would be traveling from one country and another, share with us the travel plans with them, then we would find schools for them, and then we would organize and provide facilities for making a lecture. This is the way how we were operating before the COVID crisis, and I will talk later on in my presentation some upgrades on that. Some Lectures Without Borders or Levi-Bohr facts, so that you know more about the whole network structure of us, is that now our team spans, as you see on the map on the right, more than 20 countries, and all those countries are represented by different schools and universities. So we are connecting traveling scientists essentially with not only schools, but other institutions who are welcoming scientists in their institutions, such as libraries, such as laboratories, such as associations. And we are very happy that essentially Lectures Without Borders grew up from a network of enthusiasts who never met, so that co-founders of Lectures Without Borders, Mikhail Kotikov, Lyubov Power-Tubitina, Anastasia Nikolaou, and the fourth co-founder, Delphine Clara Zempf, never actually met in one place. And that actually essentially characterized our very distributed system of people who would be managing this network. All four of us were initially based in 4 different countries. And this allowed us also to set up our initially very international network of scientists who would be collaborating and contributing to this network, including countries such as India, Germany, Argentina, Uruguay, Spain, and Portugal, Belarus, and so on. We are very open to collaborate with schools and universities. This was essentially our main ideas, how we would span our network and help scientists to find schools and universities where they would be able to make a lecture. But then afterwards, our association grew, and we also started to partner with different associations, essentially with local associations where people such as researchers would go, to whom they would connect, and then afterwards where they would also be, with whom they would be able to partner and to discuss more local problems, because we wanted to provide more long-term connections between scientists and local institutions. Our scientists are from different areas of science. Me personally, I'm a mathematician, and I'm working a lot with physicists, I'm working with neuroscientists, climatologists, and our scientists are coming from different disciplines as well, from such as neuroscience, linguistics, psychology, open science. we are open for every discipline of science, and especially we're open for those disciplines who are underrepresented. For example, in some areas on Earth, people don't really talk so much about open science, and we are valuing a lot when, for example, researchers from Portugal came to Kenya and they were making lectures about that. Lectures Without Borders advisory board includes many researchers from all around the globe, from Uruguay, from Egypt, from Israel, from Russia, from France, and we are always trying to connect to the leading researchers in these countries in order to value and standardize the approaches from different researchers in different areas in order to ask their advice. Lectures Without Borders data, and some of our data is always available on GitHub. You can search Lectures Without Borders GitHub folder, which we have. And before COVID, we were growing as an association who was making essentially offline lectures. Then what happened next was that in March 2020, when actually one of the first travel bans were introduced, we stopped making offline lectures because we were caring a lot about the privacy and about the ability of scientists actually to make online offline lectures right in the places which would not be safe for them. So we started to organize a lot of online sessions. So for initial idea of traveling scientists, we also made it possible for people actually to understand how often people travel. For that, we partnered and made organized the project with Open Humans Foundation, where we set up a project for collecting the information about how many countries actually people are visiting, right? What is the probability that me as a researcher from France will go to some country and essentially I will have free time and several hours of actually contributing my own time to some organization there. And this project would be also, of course, compliant with the GDPR laws and policy of the privacy. Pre-COVID-19 era, of course, it was when people were not having travel bans and we were not affected before so much, was when we were organizing lectures in open classrooms, such as the one in Kenya or one in Indonesia you see here. One of our last but not least lectures were made by Argentinian and by Portuguese scientists, and they were made in Kenya. They were all organized remotely, in the sense that our team didn't travel to Kenya in order to organize it. We did it and organize it remotely. Then afterwards, after COVID happened, we moved to online sessions. It was kind of unfortunate because, of course, from offline discussions, one benefits a lot from offline discussions and one can ask and more interactively work. And here in classrooms, of course, it was much harder to do that, but we tried to transition on that. And of course, educational disruption and response to that was huge. A lot of associations with whom we have been working on have replied to this in different ways on one and another by increasing number of online lectures or creating some special tools. Of course, for Lectures Without Borders, who were initially based on the idea that scientists are traveling and scientists are happy to explore the possibilities of people making lectures online, of course, that was something which affected us a lot. That's why we organized one of the first projects of us, which was made by Eugenia Corrington, was essentially organizing free open webinars with Jogo, a project which also was collaborating with us, with Just One Giant Lab, to organize free open webinars about COVID in order to make and to explain to schools around the globe in various countries about virology. Then afterwards, life goes on, and scientists, although scientists were not traveling for conferences, they were considering continuing traveling virtually, right? So scientists were continuing to travel virtually for conferences. That's why we organized special sessions with Lectures Without Borders in online, one of the biggest planetary science conference, which was taking place just last month and finished this month, where we took a sprint of organizing webinars for 43 schools around the globe. Future perspectives, of course, are open, and we're always adapt and are always happy to see explore more possibilities. We hope that we will still be able to travel more after COVID and stay safe, and to make lectures in different places around the globe where we didn't yet reach, because our one of the main goals was, of course, enrich education in places where it hasn't been reached and could be reached potentially by scientists who would be traveling by chance, for example, such as make a trip into Himalaya mountains and make a lecture in one of the more remote schools there. What we can do together, we are happy to organize online schools and online lectures currently in this situation. We're open for open collaborations and for coordination of webinars and local coordination of lectures. You can reach us out at this website, currently moving to the new version. And at these emails, you can reach me and our Lectures Without Borders team. With that, I would like to thank you, to invite you to our website, to invite you for our network, and to invite you to also look at those incredible associations and institutions with whom we were happy to work with, and to thank also the Foundation Bodnar for help. And here you see only partially our international team of researchers, scientists, and scientist engagers. And thank you so much for allowing the presentation at the Open Education Conference. I'm open for your questions. Thank you.